Okay, and one final thing I'll share for today is my experience recently in the importance of body work. And this is for people who are going through Kundalini process and dealing with trauma and all that sort of stuff. Particularly if you're a Kundalini process and in upper or advanced process, how important it is to have body work during this time. Yeah, about 2 months ago, maybe 3 months now, I just felt this inner calling. Now, let me back up. I have been having body work done very frequently for a very many years, trying to resolve these issues in my head, my headaches, neck aches, all this sort of stuff. And for years, like for most all of these years, I get temporary relief, maybe a day, maybe a couple of hours, and then it would all come back. And the turning point in this journey. So you can go and get body work done, but when I started to see real transformations and real healings was when I really got into the body and started feeling the feelings like I described on the other video about just opening yourself up and feeling them, but also really working with whatever system you have, getting to the core and understanding the originating false belief that started the illness in the first place. And the I Ching is a great, doing an oracle session is a great route to finding the underlying cause. So it wasn't really until then where I had deep understanding and really took action of deprogramming these thoughts, that healing began. But I will say, what really catapulted the healing. So my first point is, the mind will want to change. If you're in pain and you're going to get body work and it never seems to go away, it's because number one, the mind is trying to fix an uncomfortable feeling without getting to the cause of it. The mind just wants to get out of pain. So this is an ego-driven, separate self thing. I hope you can't hear all the birdies out there eating their bird food. That's trying to change something. It's running away, and that will never work. It never worked for me. I don't suspect it will work for you if you're on this particular journey. Now, if you're not, then things that will work, right? It just depends what level you're at, what the universe will allow healing about. Okay, hope I'm making sense. So, just lost my train of thought. Obviously not scripted here. So have to, what really changed in me, what I think started burning away the core issues was when Kundalini reached Makara point. That's when Kundalini really begins to burn away these karmic things in your subtle body and really gets rid of them completely. But anyway, a couple of weeks ago, my point of this was to tell you about the body work, how important it is and how amazing the body is. A couple of months ago, I just had this feeling, I feel it's time to go once a week, every Monday, because I feel like things are going to, like the emotions are going to start coming out. And my God, I've been going now once a week for more than 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks now. And every week, every Monday, it's like, I didn't know any more emotions or stuff could come out. And now the emotions, okay, are not surprising, a little surprising about how much still keeps coming out. But what was so fascinating is when the body workers were, hitting points, how the body moves and twists, and it's like it's unwinding itself. Like it could be touching the neck, but the foot is doing all kinds of things. And I'm not doing it. The body is releasing after the emotions go, or while the emotions are going, my body is doing, tensing up, twisting, arching, just doing all kinds of unwinding. It is amazing how when you say you have a program of whatever, I'm not good enough, and that lands in your neck, just that point of tension and affects the entire fascia of your body. I mean, we all know that, but to see it in action is quite unbelievable. So let's see what else I wanted. It's just amazing. You don't realize how much tension the body is holding for you, all these knots of emotions. I feel sorry for the body, but it's so remarkable that we can still function with all of this trauma. I mean, sure, we have pains here and there, and we have, but the difference, the way my body feels, I feel a lot more freedom. I have a little bit more to go. I can feel, I'll always have stuff to go, but I feel like I'm coming to the end of this weekly stuff. But there's a sense of freedom in my body, a lightness that I have never, it's so crazy, unbelievable. So if you're having issues and going through Kundalini process, I can't recommend finding a body worker, a massage therapist, and not just a feel-good massage therapist, you know what I mean, just relaxing, smooth, non-painful, like a deep tissue person who knows, who can get in there, say if you have vertebrae out of alignment, that they can go in there and gently manipulate things and get in there, get in deep when your body allows, and do this very gently and be able to stretch fascia, because as the deprogramming of the core beliefs that were holding all these things in place were being deprogrammed, my body worker could get deeper and deeper. And it wasn't until he hit these deep points that all the emotions, and was able to stretch the fascia. And because the fascia is what's all tensed up, but it gets into knots and it holds everything in place. But that's sometimes deeper. I mean, we have a top layer of fascia, but I believe there's different layers of fascia. I could be wrong on this, but anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, so a body worker who can do that, go in deep when necessary, when the body releases, and just get in there and stretch the fascia. You will be surprised what comes up. It's quite amazing and it's wonderful. And one more comment. What I realized may not be the truth, but this is my truth. We have all those books, all these different systems like Louise Hay that has, all the body parts. And if you have an ailment in this part, this is what it means. And I'm saying this because my body worker, after this session, say we're working here on the shoulders, they'll say, oh, yeah, I don't know, did issues of family issues come up? And I was like, no, every time he asked me, because you could tell he was functioning on a system that was saying, this area deals with this area deals with that, this type of feeling. And I kept saying, no, none of those were true for me. And what I've realized with the I Ching, I mean, some of it could be pretty standard because we're all conditioned in a particular similar way. So sure, some conditions can manifest in the same areas in all people, like carrying the weight of the world, like I have to do something to help the world, and that creates a lot of tension up here. And let me let the cat in. Hold on. It's always something, isn't it? All right, honey, come on. But what I've realized is, in particularly doing oracle sessions and for people, for myself and for others, for healing conditions, that you can have the weight of the world in any part of your body. It just depends. You can have a trauma or a situation happens and you may have hurt your elbow. And at that point in time, it depends on the story and the circumstances. Your mind might have said, you're a failure. And then you have failure in your elbow. So it just depends on the initial situation, the initial trauma, and where the mind directed the false belief. So you can't just look at a system and go, okay, if it's my lower back, it must be fear and support or money issues. No, it could be something completely different. So I really encourage you to do your own type of oracle session, or I'm not advertising, but to find a way to find the true false belief, your very own unique false belief that is holding all these knots in your body. Okay, so find a good, trustworthy body worker. Although I guess if they weren't trustworthy, you wouldn't be going to them. Anyway, that's the importance of body work and just how amazing the body is at holding us all together. Okay, until next time.